Welcome to the Music Workspace. This is Pedro Almeida, and today we will be discussing the importance of repetition and variation in your music with musical examples. So stay tuned. Repetition. Why is that so important in music? As the meaning of the word implies, repetition is the recurrence of an action or an event. In music, repeating a motive, a melodic idea, a section is probably the best way you have to tell people what you are talking about. What this means is that you need to stick to an idea or ideas that make sense together, emphasize that idea, play with it, present it again under a new light, and so on. But beware of exact repetitions in music. It may become boring or uninteresting after a while. For instance, is every chorus of a song exactly the same, or do they differ somehow? The same goes with the verses. Are they all exactly the same? Do they have the exact same arrangement or melodic turns throughout the song? Probably not, right? More often than not, they have little differences and suffer some variations, because if you already said it, why repeat it in the exact same way? We got you the first time. Throw in some variations every now and then get back to the same idea. Last video we were talking about the structure of a piece of music as a whole, as a way of organizing your ideas. Now it's time to look at the same concept and apply it in a different way, as a way of organizing your musical materials. It's basically taking the same concept of how a piece of music is structured in sections, apply it to much smaller parts, phrases or fragments, and develop these by using repetition and some form of variation. Consider that you have this rhythmic idea. If nothing new happens, it will get boring after a while, so after how many bars should something happen? Here we have 2 bars, and if we are going to repeat this idea, then you get 4 bars, and then 8 bars, and 16, 32. You get the idea. The ideal time to add some changes would be at the turn of the repetitions. For instance, in this example, we have a 2-bar idea. We repeated it and then added a slight variation at the end of the 4th bar. Then we repeated the whole thing except for the end of the 8th bar, which suffered a different variation. You can start earlier or near the end of each turn. It's your choice depending on the impact that you want to make. These rhythmic sentences can take longer and not only 2 bars, meaning that they don't have to be as short as the ones I just played. They could turn out to be something like this. It's up to you to figure out how long your idea will be and how you want to make these variations, depending if they are going to be preparing a new section or if you are going to repeat the whole thing again, and thus making it sound less apparent and smoother. Now, let's apply the same concept, but this time applying it to a melody. Here is the melodic fragment we will be playing around with. You will see that when the fragment is repeated, the only thing that changes is the pitch of the half notes. The fragment repeats until the 6th bar. The whole note on the 7th bar is basically a period in this sentence and then the preparation for the beginning of the next section. This was basically the A section of our melody. The same happens in the B section, where the fragment we will be using is this. Everything that was mentioned for the A section applies, so here it is how it turned out. And now all put together with the harmony on the back. Of course, you can always have a melody built around the idea of question and answer, and then apply the discussed concepts of repetition and variation, like this, for example. The way you choose to wrap up your melodic ideas may vary, depending if you are preparing what comes next or if you just want to finish that idea altogether. As you also noticed, when we considered the melodic fragments, we basically worked with a rhythm associated to the melodic idea, and with the direction of the melodic intervals in that fragment, more than with the repetition of the pitch itself. This is all for now. Get your repetitions right, as it will help you to make sense of what you are saying musically. There is so much more to say about repetition and variation, as well as melodic and rhythmic writing, but more on that on future videos. I hope to see you on the next one, and if you like this content, please subscribe and get it weekly in your email box. Until next time.